Going to expect a lot more, says owner Robert Kraft. Jerod Mayo, though, preaching all those things that you would definitely hear Bill preaching. He's a Bill guy.
How do you not have carry?
It's going to follow him.
Yeah.
It's going to chase him. The staff carried over. The front office carried over. This is a Bill operation with a new guy running it. It's a Bill operation with a better personality at the top. I don't even say that jokingly. It's what it is, isn't it?
That's fact. Yeah. Yeah.
But did you think that it was going to look like that? That's the part that I think is the story. I don't think and I think what they're saying is right. No one expected this. No one thought that this could happen. I would agree. Most people did not think that game was going to look as good as it looked for them.
In all three phases.
In terms of the things that they can control, right? Their talent is deficient still, especially on offense, as we saw on Sunday. But
that's why they offered Ayuk all that money.
But in terms of
trying to get guys.
Taking care of business, I didn't expect it to look that good and that buttoned up and that disciplined, but it was.
The communication on defense was phenomenal. Multiple looks every snap, and I get it. Like if you're pro, or you're looking at something. There are times it felt like everybody's coming, and no, they drop 7 on it. They drop 8. They throw 6 DBs in. They throw 3 safeties in. It's something different every snap. And again, there were no personnel problems as far as 12 men on the field, not enough guys to call timeout. Usually, you get that sloppy stuff at the beginning of the season. And we were kind of expecting that the way things unraveled down in Washington.
Oh, my God, the third preseason
the offensive line, four of those calls in the first half. I know it's a point of emphasis, and they're calling it in the league now. But no, I mean, there was just so much uncertainty in the air, especially on the offense. Like, we have confidence in the defense; they're going to show, but you still lost Barmore and Judon, and people were still leery on how good Gonzalez was going to be. And he was really good the other day. Gonzalez did the old Gilmore job. He stood over the ball. You guys don't see this because you're watching the TV coming back from break. During TV timeouts, he stood over the ball and he looked at Chase. Everybody else is huddled, and he's just one-on-one with Chase when they went man. And when they're on zone, he went back on the right side. Like, that's what big-time corners do in this league. You follow the best guy around. We're going to go man, and we're going to take you out of the game. And we'll let the other 10 guys play defense and play some zone. And roll some coverage. Like, you have a weapon there in Gonzalez to use. And if Jonathan Jones can stay healthy, Jonathan Jones' instincts and his ability to cover guys like Tyreek Hill over the years is the reason, he got the money and he's still in this league. But, like, if he's healthy, he can play the way he played the other day. Coming up, making that tackle on 4th and 2. Marcus Jones, if he could stay healthy. Like, they showed well on defense. They really did. But, man, if you lose a guy like Gonzalez, or say you lose Duggar, or even like a Marcus Jones again, or even Jonathan Jones, you can be in a little trouble on defense. Because I think the starters are really good, the communication's good, first 2 guys in, but once you start getting into depth, then you got some issues.
Bert Breer wrote after the win, the first win in the post-Bill Belichick New England had a distinct feel and style to it. As I see it, that can be broken down with a set of stats. The stats, a 170 to 70 edge in rushing yards and a 10-minute advantage in time of possession. He says the Patriots finished off their opponent Sunday in a most old-school way. And that is, they ran the ball right down the Bengals' throats to close out a 16-10 stunner. The Bengals punted to the Patriots with less than 3 minutes left, down by the final margin, and with all 3 of their timeouts intact, the Patriots then proceeded to hand the ball to Ramondre Stevenson 4 straight times to churn out 2 first downs and force their hosts to drain their timeouts and set up 3 final snaps out of the victory formation. Quote, that meant a lot, Jerod Mayo said over the phone as he left the stadium.
As he's walking onto the buses.
You got to be kidding me.
First call.
You got to be kidding me with this.
You know what, Breer? Get your ass on the plane and get to the game and interview him in person.
Breer getting a game ball?
Maybe. Which week does he get one?
Is he the yeah guy?
That's a good one, T-Bone. Had to slide that as he's walking out of the stadium.
That meant a lot, said Jerod Mayo to Bert Breer, chatting on the phone with him as he leaves the stadium. Quote, we challenged our offensive line and we challenged our running backs to take over the ball game. And anytime you can get out there and everyone in the stadium knows we're going to run the ball, and they can still pick up 5 yards here and there for first down, it's huge. It should help us build our culture and team going forward. Bert Breer writes, so if you wondered what this version of the Patriots would look like, the answer hits you right in the face. Physical and efficient on offense, physical and multiple on defense, and smart. Winning the turnover battle, 3-zip was proof of that. If that sounds familiar, Mayo gets it. Well, he knows because he talks to him. For as much talk as there was about how different these Patriots are from the old dynastic Patriots, the new head coach still believes in a lot of the same stuff as the old head coach.
Yeah, it worked.
And Bert will check in with him every week after the game in case you need to hear from the head coach. That's your guy. You want to know something about Gerard Mayo? Just ask Bert Breer. You want to know something about Elliott Wolf and what they're thinking? Just ask Bert Breer. You want to know what the guaranteed money was? A wide, big, fat range of money? Ask Bert Breer. He'll tell you it was between 80 and 90. Somewhere in there. Could have been 80.5, could have been 89.9, or even 90. I don't know, but ask Breer.
Yeah.
Talk to Breer. I told you. I warned all of you. I warned you all. The man is on the inside. He is on the inside with this football operation here at Gillette. Let's go to your phones. Matt is in Rhode Island. What's up, Matt?
Hey, good morning, guys. That's
Good.
funny. You guys are funny. Hey, listen, I'm concerned about Peppers being really banged up game one. I mean, he's an integral part of the defense. Great tackling on Sunday. And I'm wondering when Kendrick Bourne might be back to help out the offense. Thanks.
Good question on Bourne. When do you think he is back? What are you hearing on him?
A couple people saw him in the building yesterday.
Yeah.
So he's around. He's moving around well from what I heard. I'd probably 3 more weeks, 3 or 4. How about this Pepper story? So we land in Cincinnati at around 4:30, and he landed on his hip in practice on Friday.
Yeah.
And it stiffened up overnight to where he said he only slept about 2 hours, and he basically couldn't walk in pain. Popped up on the injury report. You got to fly. It stiffens up more. We didn't have a pool in our hotel. He had to go across the street to the Holiday Inn to swim.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Imagine that. You go over there and there's kids jumping in with like inner tubes on and the wingies.
Zoe's sitting there with a waffle watching him.
Yeah, me sitting there watching.
So do you think they told the Holiday Inn that they were going in the pool, or do you think
No.
they just kind of did it?
I'm sure they cleared it. You got to go in. I mean,
Do you?
you got to ask. Hey, you guys have a pool? We're across the street with an NFL team. We need the rehab.
You think they got him for one night room and tax or what?
I bet they just told him, go ahead in. Go ahead. Oh, it's good for them. It's good
What
business for
brand
them.
of hotel were you guys at?
We were at the Summit.
What's that?
It's like these
sounds
Marriott,
classy.
like these Marriott suites.
Yeah.
Sort of the newer modular ones, like that. But they had a massive restaurant for breakfast, but it was closed because the team was having breakfast there. It's the first time ever, really, like on the road, we couldn't go down and eat.
Zoe couldn't get his eggies.
Oh, but I went out, had a walk, went to a coffee shop. It was fine.
All right.
It's great. Beautiful day on Sunday down there. Perfect football weather.
Yeah, so Jabril Peppers went across the street, went to the Holiday Inn, and used their pool to get his legs going to be able to go play.
It's pretty good. He played well on Sunday.
Thank you, Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Good work.
He looked good on Sunday.
Thank you. New England thanks you.
Moving around well. He said he wasn't going to miss this game. First one.
Good for
After
him.
the contract. Means something to him. That's good.
Got a sore hip. Let's go to Jake in Boston. Jake, go ahead.
Well, first of all, you didn't see many wives and girlfriends make that trip to the Summit in Cincinnati, and the team had a bit of focus as a result. You guys were gushing about the defensive aggressiveness yesterday, the style points, the swagger. And it seems like every time that comes up, there's mentions of Bill Belichick, who, let's be honest, at this rate, the Giants are so bad, he may choose to stay in retirement instead of take his dream job. That's how bad the Giants are. But Gerard Mayo has been sitting here for the last several years dealing with Steve Belichick and that philosophy in that room, basically having to defer to Steve. So how much of this do you think is Gerard and DeMarcus Covington just joyously freed from the grasp of having to deal with Steve and Steve reporting into Daddy and Steve getting all the special treatment? And I know Brian's still on the staff, but Steve was the one who was being showed whenever they talked about the play caller. It was never Bill's always mentioned, but Steve had a big presence in that room that he had never earned or deserved, and he was basically hindering those two guys' career as a result of it.
You know what? It's not a crazy take. Jake loves to get into the personal stuff and the power structure and all of that. Oh, we're drilling something now.
Yeah. Right below us.
Oh, this is great. It wouldn't be appearance here.
I don't know.
Hey, he's not wrong about the broadcast and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
Gerard Mayo was the one that was being offered head coaching interviews, not Steve Belichick.
Right, and I would say the biggest hindrance on this particular thing defensively was not Steve, it was Bill. It was Bill. Bill was still in charge of the D.
Yeah.
I always believed that at the end of the day, the game plan was him. The decisions being made about how they were going to approach each game and in-game stuff was all him still. And maybe Steve agreed with Daddy, but I don't think that he was the thing. He was the guy in the way. It was Bill.
Yeah, no.
And so that's why you say it's Bill's defense. Yes, but it's more the Brian Flores way of using Bill's defense than it is the Steve Belichick, Matt Patricia way of using
That's what it felt.
Bill's schemes.
Felt like I was watching Yeah.
And so I think this is going to
defense.
morph into something that doesn't look like Bill's defense. I think it's going to look less and less like Bill's defense over time.
Bill's is more big and basic, like structured 3-4, structured 4-3. Like whatever the league's doing that year. Like he loved the 3-4 nose tackle defense. The Bobby Hamilton guys he's had over the years. The Vince Wilfork guys. Like this is sort of morphing away from it's more of a 4-man look. But I saw Brian Belichick at the game. He was in the box next to us. He's upstairs with the coaches.
They don't let him on
the
the
box.
sideline.
No, he's never been on the sideline. He's always been a box guy.
Yeah.
He was the most vocal guy after the win, heading down to the locker room.
That's interesting that you bring that up.
Excited, man, and like he's into it here, and it's like it's separation. I was talking to him about his dad about being on Instagram. He goes, "It's a day we never thought we would see." Huh? Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because he may have been fired up, but it doesn't sound like his dad cares to talk about the Patriots winning a game. That is Bill Belichick on Pat McAfee yesterday. 40 minutes, no questions about the Patriots. That's odd. Biggest upset in the NFL week 1, and no questions asked to Bill about that.
That's sad.
Goes on the podcast with Jim Gray, the Let's Go podcast.
I listened to the whole thing.
No discussion about the Patriots there. Odd.
And how long was that one? 40-plus minutes.
And then he goes on the Manning cast last night, first half of the game, and no discussion of the Patriots there.
But you could break balls with Eli about having a treaty, and that's the team that beat, the Patriots in 2 Super Bowls?
That's odd. Isn't that odd?
Yeah.
Kind of odd, right?
It's a lot of airtime. Yeah.
You can get away with this if you do one thing. But when you spread yourself out to 5 different things, and you have long interviews with each one,
Good
and
call.
long commentary,
Yeah.
you could get away with this with one. It becomes an issue if you do it on all 5 because it's now like you served the edict.
Which he definitely
You could have me
did.
on, which I mean, there's stuff I couldn't ask him on, questions. And not that he's coming for me, it's just because I knew I couldn't ask that question. I would know if I was one of them, I can't ask that Patriot question because he wouldn't want to answer it. And it's going to make you look silly when you ask it. Boy, what a question by A.J. Hawk. What do you do at halftime? I mean, I know
Didn't A.J. Hawk, I'm just asking. A.J. Hawk, didn't he play in the NFL?
He did.
He did.
He had long hair.
Yeah.
All right.
And he just sits there and stares.
Well, now you know what he does.
Stares at a computer, and he talks when McAfee tees him up. Hey, AJ, go ahead. Okay, AJ. Hey, AJ, it's your turn. AJ, ask him another one. How hard is it to defend Aaron Rodgers?
How hard is it to be a quarterback?
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Coach, how hard is it to coach?
I love Bill. It's not a good look for him.
It is not a good look, and he may be personally happy for his son Brian, as you mentioned, is still on the staff, while professionally he's being a big baby and doesn't want to even mention it.
It's crazy because you worked here for over 20 years. How much money has this place paid you? You've won 6 titles here that you should be so proud of. And you can't talk about it?
Well, even if you don't go out of your way to, say Gerard Mayo did a great job, or you can't say, it was a good upset and they won. And you know what you could have done if he was kind of savvy, but he's not media savvy. I've been saying that for 15 years. All this praise of Bill for how media savvy he was. He's not savvy. He just wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
Those are 2 different things. If he were savvy, he'd say, well, They did a lot of great stuff in this game. Things that, I would definitely preach to a team. And then drop all the things that we've said reflect well on Bill this week. He could take a victory lap without it being a victory lap.
Right.
By saying, yeah, they did a great job forcing turnovers. Loved what I saw from them on special teams. They took care of the football on offense. Just say all of that stuff. All the things we've all been saying about that win that were just plainly obvious about the win.
It's so easy.
He could have done it, and it would have reflected well on him to say something nice about the team, and it would be, oh, yeah, that's all from you, Bill.
It would be so easy. There's a lot of guys on that staff, and I got a son up there, too, that has carried over, and we put a lot of work in, and they give me a ton of hours. And that's the type of game I preach to them. That's the way you win football games. And I'm proud that they did that. And then just end it there. So that simple. Without getting into him and Mayo. That's the issue, really.
He doesn't have to congratulate Mayo. He's not required to do that. And I actually understand if he's pissed at Gerard Mayo, which I think he is.
He feels like he got
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, rumors, whispers, whatever. I don't think it was good at the end. But all those two guys. And that's fine. I'm on Team Belichick on that one. If I found out that there was someone that I begged to get into this job and really encouraged him to come and work in this, and then I found out he was signing a contract to replace me without me knowing about it, I'd be effing pissed at him too. Yeah. So I am Team Bill on that one. I am.
That's that's what we've done with him.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't realize you talked to Mary, but yeah, that's tough.
I hate you, McComb. But I also say, well, I don't really fault Gerard Mayo for signing the deal. What was he supposed to do? Say no?
No, 100%.
No, but I understand Bill being mad about the situation, feeling like he got knifed by a guy that he really encouraged to get into the coaching profession and really was all about having on his staff. So I get that. I get his personal emotion of being a little ticked about how it all went down. But you're now never going to mention the Patriots? Sweet media career you got there, Mr. Savvy.
Well, you can also just put it on all the players that you singled out last
You're
week.
talking about the Patriots? No.
I mean, he's
not going to do it.
He and Patricia did it.
Yeah.
On another platform.
So just highlight the defense and all those players that you kind of put together coming up and having a huge game.
They should have talked about the Duggar play. This is what I saw in him. When we went after this guy who was at Lenore Rhine, a small school. We drafted him in the second round, and we envisioned him to be this type of playmaker.
Right.
You could have just done that.
Talk about your love for the individual players that you drafted if you want. There's plenty of ways to talk about that win.
That's why we drafted. That's why I drafted him last year.
Keon White at Georgia Tech, and man, would he jump on his film? This is what we envisioned him being. You're done. In and out.
How about I taught the players not to reach the ball out before the goal line?
Bingo.
That's a big line of
Danny
his.
Amendola
Huge
backs
line
that
of
up.
his.
Yeah.
He loves telling that story.
He loves it. He loves that.
But that's a premeditated, don't ask me about the
Yes,
Patriots.
absolutely. I'm not talking about New England. Don't talk about New England.
Well, here's the question.
Don't bring it up.
So if the Patriots lose their next 4 games, is he going to be talking about the Pats in Week 5 and Week 6 about what's going wrong?
Probably,
right?
I mean, it depends how they're losing and what's the story.
Yeah, what if they get blown out 30-0? Not that I think this is going to happen, but let's say something.
Are we going to highlight the mistakes that were made?
They have their home opener and they lose 30-0, and they can't move the ball on offense all of a sudden.
Well, he's on
Are you going
record.
to talk about it then?
Yeah. He's on record talking about May, the breakdown. The feet, the inaccuracies.
He's crapped on May.
Yeah,
I mean,
twice.
It's been over the top, but he does not like May.
The day May goes in, he's got to talk about it. That he should have to. That's a big story.
Maybe. Unless he's still protesting. I don't want to talk about it.
He's already talked about May twice.
Big baby Bill. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about the Patriots. And then you're right, so it's a great point. When you're in 14 different places on Monday, never mind the rest of the week, how is it that you can avoid the obvious effort that you're making to not talk about the Patriots?
And whether you like it or not, Brady talked about him. Jim Gray would ask him, "Hey, Tom, your former team, and hey, I've got a lot of friends there. I wish them luck.
Yeah,
but I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneer now."
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.